I would like to present in a moment our speaker, Rob Teszka. He is a magician, a producer, and a university dropout. Please give a very warm Creative Mornings welcome to Rob Teszka.
Good evening. My name's Rob. What's yours? Weird name. What do you do? Oh. I'm a former academic, semi-professional magician, partially trained clown, itinerant bartender who used to work on the railway and gives walking tours. Same. Yes, it's true. I did used to work on a train. But I suppose we should get the magic part out of the way. Oh my God, he can leave the stage? There's some playing cards. They're not entirely standard. They've got some features that make them useful for larger audiences like this. You can see the pips on the aces are a bit larger so that you can see them better. The jokers, instead of being jokers, they're phoenixes rising from the ashes, which is good because I hate jokes. And why not? We'll throw the guarantee cards and the rules of different games in there as well. And now I just need to find someone willing. They don't have to be willing. Oh, hi.
Hi.
Willing or too willing?
Oh, maybe just willing.
Just willing.
Yes.
Sylvia,
Yes.
please come join me. A round of applause for Sylvia. Right here. Sylvia.
Yes.
My name's Rob. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
And what's the dumbest thing you've ever done?
Oh my God. I didn't think this was going to start this way.
No, you don't have to answer. I would
Okay.
never put anyone in that position except in the confines of my hour-long solo fringe show. Just reach in, grab.
Any card?
Yeah. There you go.
Okay, what will be this one?
Perfect. And don't show anyone.
I won't.
Just look at it yourself.
Okay.
All right. We'll see how this works.
Okay.
Because things have already not gone to plan. That's how magic works. 10 of clubs. Is that correct?
I did.
Not that impressive. Not that impressive. Take another one.
Okay.
Yeah. Actually, just kill I'm nervous. Why am I nervous? I do this all the time. This is the only trick in the show, so I don't even need to be that nervous. There.
Okay. Can I? It's like a.
Can you settle the card?
Okay.
Actually, here, let's try this a little more fairly.
Okay.
Just say stop.
Okay. Stop.
Okay. Don't show anyone.
Okay.
And deal with these later. Leave those in a little pile. All right, look, some of them are all messed up now, but that's how it goes sometimes. I want you to memorize that card, the image, keep it nice and clear in your mind, and I'm going to get it. I'm going to get it. Facing the back, just tuck it right in there, make sure no one can see,
Okay.
and peel off the strip,
All right. Let's see if I can. There we go.
seal it for me.
All right.
Brilliant. Notice not visible either side.
Nope.
Thank you very much, Sylvia. You may return to your seats. I'm going to get it. I'm going to get it. The magic is now done. Get on with the more interesting stuff. That's me. It's my genuine high school graduation photo. Note the crooked tie, the questionable choice of goatee. Pretty sure I'm wearing the hat backwards. Photographer took one shot and said, "Yep, that'll do." And the medal. The medal is an interesting element of the picture. It's the Governor General Science Award, awarded to the person who had the highest grades overall across the province in different science courses. You can guess what this kid was like in high school. He did not go outside and play sports at recess. He stayed inside and played Magic the Gathering. He was bullied. The medal was the first time I really tasted reward. It kind of set me up on a path. You ever taste reward? When you haven't had it for a long time or never had it at all, ooh, it tastes good. Start pursuing it. But this medal for me does not represent success, but rather failure. I didn't deserve it, you see. Throughout school, I was distracted. I never handed in homework, mostly never completed it. I was more interested in reading ghost stories. I remember this book, creepy as hell. Screw you up if you read it as a child. Ghost stories, comic books, pop science, and psychology. I was interested in everything. I wanted to sponge it all up. Magic tricks, especially. Oh boy, did I ever focus on magic tricks. The 6 of spades, yes or no? No? Oh, shit. Would have been good, though. How cool would that have been? All right. We'll do it the old-fashioned way. Huh. No? Really? That's probably fine. That's probably fine. How about now? It's not the 10 of clubs, is it? I'm going to get it. I'm going to get it. But I felt the need to balance out that medal with an anti-medal. Here it is. Never did my homework. Didn't deserve it. Boom. Feels weighty somehow. But that didn't stop me. The taste of reward sets me on a path, like a rat in a maze looking for cheese. I'm going to chase that reward, eyes closed, forging on ahead, not knowing which way I'm going to get more. Eventually leads me to university. Anyone know which university that is? Yeah. You know what the Latin stands for? It's up to you. Tum est, sometimes interpreted as, it is yours. I nearly failed my first year of university. Quite a shock. Everyone had such high expectations after me getting that medal, but nope, 56%, nearly put on academic probation. It was pretty bad. Almost put on academic probation. Just another failure. Well, it's a few of them, though. You can just redirect, choose a different path. That's J.B. Rhine. I got interested in psychology, studying how the mind works, how people make decisions, how people think. And I got interested in a subset of psychology. It was parapsychology. Anyone ever heard of parapsychology? It's like the idea of ESP, extrasensory perception, transmitting things with your mind, moving things with your mind, using telekinesis, trying to see how the world works in a way that it doesn't work. You know, magic. And I started running a study. I volunteered in a lab that was interested in parapsychology from the perspective of not whether it was real or not, but whether it was something that could be understood. Like, why do people come to believe in the paranormal? What encourages people to be more or less inclined to believe in things that are supernatural or unusual, powers that might not be? So I developed a little research study to try and understand that. Collected the data, used the statistical software to analyze it, and got significant results. It was really exciting. The principal investigator of the lab came up, looked over my shoulder, and was like, hey, this is publishable. Good news. I'm still in my undergraduate, start of a promising career, perhaps. But then a colleague checked my work. Yeah. Turns out I had misdesigned the study so that the kind of data I was getting from people didn't quite attack the question I was asking. And not just that, I had misused the statistical software, so it was just random noise. My colleague said, and I quote, "The results are uninterpretable. Failed to analyze my experimental data properly." Oof. They're starting to rack up now. There's more you can't see. But it was around this time that I started getting interested, going deeper into the maze, in the connection between magic and psychology. Because there is one. It goes all the way back to the start of psychology and early magic. There was a video on this slide, but we couldn't get it to play. It was going to show a couple of frames of a video taken in 1893. And there was a psychologist named Alfred Binet, inventor of the IQ test. And he took video of a French magician named Reynali. One of the earliest psychology studies, period, but also one of the earliest bits of research on magic, how magicians are able to do things, fool the eye, the idea of dexterity. He essentially takes a coin, puts it into his hand, and then vanishes it. That's kind of what the video was. But we don't have the video there, so we'll just move on. There's a deeper connection in psychology and magic, even more so than that, something that really intrigued me. Who knows who this is? Stanley Milgram, famous obedience experiments. This is him standing beside his shock box. He would ask people to come into the lab, and there would be someone with a lab coat, a clipboard, and he would tell them, there's a learner in the next room, and they're going to do some questions, and if they get something wrong, we need you to give them a little electric shock, just trying to see if that kind of negative feedback will help them learn. And as they started out the study, the participant in the other room would sort of react, ow. But then the instructions given to the person were to crank up the knob. And suddenly the person in the other room starts going, or ah! Until they crank the knob all the way up to XXX. And this was all a lie. The person in the other room was an actor. The shock box was not connected. Stanley Milgram's parents had been Holocaust survivors. He wanted to see just how far people would go simply because someone in apparent authority wearing a uniform told them that they should. Psychologists and magicians both are liars. Sometimes the only way to find the truth is by telling a lie. We use theater, deception to set up situations which lead people to behave in the way that we want them to. And if you are careful, you can reveal something meaningful about them. Anyone notice that? Look closer. Was it the seven of clubs? No? Fuck. Good, get it. I'm gonna get it. I pursued the psychology of magic further and ended up going to inspiring buildings like this one. It's Brunel University. You may recognize it if you've seen A Clockwork Orange, which used it as their set. But I did research there, started a PhD, and contributed to a number of published peer-reviewed research articles on the psychology of magic. All sorts of different elements of how magicians manipulate how people think, behave, how that reveals interesting things about the human mind. And at this point, I thought I had made it, especially when I got to start traveling. I got to go to other countries and give talks. It was really, really exciting. I got to go to places with research that was based on eye tracking. If anyone ever used an eye tracker before, but basically it's a camera, you can put it on someone's head, and it records where their eyes are looking so that you can kind of get a sense of what they're paying attention to, what they're thinking about, what they're looking at, based on changes you make. And we had people wear these eye trackers while I performed magic live for them and changed minor things about what I did. I had colleagues who did the same thing. We compiled it into studies and looks like this. And I got to go to places like Marseille, Boston, Barcelona, tell people about this stuff. Super cool. But it was really just the talking that I enjoyed. I like being in front of an audience, telling them about interesting things. Research was a little harder. It reminded me of one of the reasons that I actually almost flunked out of the first year of university. I was part of a special program called Science One. It was an interdisciplinary science program. And they had a practice field research trip and conference for the students. So we all created our own research study, and then we were going to present it at a conference. And we all went out to Bamfield Marine Research Station on the northwest tip of Vancouver Island. And time came to give my talk, and I gave it, and people enjoyed it. And then there was the Q&A session at the end, and a professor at the back raises her hand and says, "Well, that was a very entertaining talk, Rob, but you didn't propose a theory, you didn't present any data, your talk had no science in it. It was kind of a waste of all of our time." She was right. I hadn't. I went digging for this. It's the actual front page of my Science One final project submission, the wet t-shirt phenomenon, which I did, of course, demonstrate during the performance, and I had not done any science. She was right. My professor told me, like a knife to the heart, right in front of all of my peers at the very start of my academic career, that I was a failure. Not much has changed. This was my office. Inspiring, isn't it? I spent about 5 years there. Only one of them really doing anything. I just kind of sat there. I spent as little time there as possible. That's why I was going to all the conferences I could, so I wouldn't have to be there in a condemned building alone. All of my other colleagues and cohort were in newer offices in another building up on the hill that I could see from my window, and I had black mold dripping from the ceiling for company. And I stopped doing things. How many times do you need to be told you're a failure before you believe it? Before it colors the way you see the world, the way you see yourself? I gave up. Stopped producing, stopped talking, stopped visiting friends, stopped going to the office. I sat down in the middle of the maze because I didn't know which way to go. And so decided to go nowhere. What's at the end of the maze? What if there's nothing? Luckily, magic saved my life. In order to do research on the psychology of magic, I joined the Magic Circle, an organization in England, which was primarily for access to their library, so I could look at their many books, papers on magic tricks. And I started working there as a tour guide at the museum of magic tricks that they have at the Magic Circle. Started seeing some of the shows there, volunteered as a host for their shows, started performing myself, started standing in front of an audience and telling them interesting things in a different way, performatively, doing magic tricks. And oh my God, it's so different. It's so different. Magic is really, really interesting. Like, magic ultimately is pointless. There's no reason to do it. That's one of the things that's interesting about it, is that it just kind of breaks the rules. It's self-contradictory in a really, really interesting way. And when I got to perform it for people and just see people kind of baffled by things that didn't make any sense, I felt true and real and like I was present in the room. And so I stopped doing the other stuff, but I started doing more of this stuff. And I love it. I love it. So I wanted to see how many of you were paying attention. When you came into the room, did you notice all the way here at the back, on the back pillar? 5 of hearts. Sylvia, yes or no? Was your card the 5 of hearts?
No.
Failed to get Sylvia's card. It's fine. I quit. I quit. I left my PhD. I didn't defend. I finished half of a thesis, published about 6 journal articles, contributed to a bunch of talks, but I quit. I left. I never finished my PhD. Academia sucks. I quit. I failed out of my PhD. Sylvia. Yes or no, was your card red? Okay, so your card was black.
Yeah. Oh, no, actually. Are you talking about the face, right?
Yeah. So, yeah, What? Was your card a joker, yes or no? Was it one of the guarantee cards? Okay, don't... Fuck. Where the fuck is it? Sylvia, was this your card? Say it out loud. Out loud for everyone to hear.
Yes.
I had so many of these. How many do you have around your neck? How many do you know about? How many do you remember? I was trying so hard. But I had so many of these that they started making it difficult. But then I quit. Used to think that was a failure. But it was an escape. I opened my eyes, gained a new perspective, climbed out of the maze, and went looking for my own rewards. Thank you for your attention.
You did a study you published about the difference between how children and adults experience manipulation
Yeah.
and magic. What did you find?
The answer, as with almost all scientific research, is it's complicated. Kids, in general, are more difficult to capture attentionally. They are functioning on, there's, broadly speaking, two kinds of levels of attention, low level and high level attention. Low level is like you direct your attention to a sudden movement or a loud noise or something happening in a different location. And high level attention is like me pointing at something or saying, hey, look to that person over there. That requires a certain level of understanding. And kids are so easily captured by that low-level attentional stuff that the higher level attentional stuff has trouble. So depending on what the magician was doing, it kind of worked and it kind of didn't. And beyond that, it gets really into the weeds. But I hope that gives you some insight, at least.
Good question. All right, I will take probably another two more here.
That was a great presentation. Thank you for doing that today. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I saw your slide. It said you had ADHD. Is that correct or am I incorrect?
It's correct. I was diagnosed last year.
I'm sort of in a similar situation. How did you deal with it? Or how are you dealing with it? Sorry.
I mean, I'm fine. I have had several different therapists. I'm in group sessions right now. I also am trying to titrate to find the right level of medication. The process of getting diagnosed in the first place was long and annoying and more difficult than it needed to be, but it is possible. So if you'd like to talk more about that further, I'm quite happy to do so. In general, if you're interested in it, keep trying. It'll happen eventually.
I feel like some of these questions could catalyze a whole other talk.
Sorry to put you on the spot, but do you have a magic trick that you could do off the cuff? It's okay if the answer's no.
How dare you? Let me think. I don't know if we have time to do a trick, do we?
How, you go to work, right?
Did I run long? I don't like. Okay. One of the symptoms of of ADHD is time blindness, so I don't actually know. Does anyone here know a really dumb joke? I'm serious. I need a dumb joke for this trick to work. You know what a dumb joke? Okay, I will ask you to come up on stage and share the dumb joke with everyone. And I'd also like you to point someone at the audience to be a volunteer. Pick anyone you'd like, and they have to come up because you have power.
The lady in the red.
The lady in the red. All right, the lady in the red, and you, please come join me on stage.
Let's give a round of applause.
Improvised magic. Let's figure this out. What's your name?
Kirsty.
Kirsty, very nice. Come right here to my left here, and what's your name?
Lisa.
Lisa, nice to meet you both. Here, can you hold on to those jokers for me? And Kirsty, let's see. Any card you'd like. Brilliant. Show it to someone you trust. That does not include me. All right. Make sure I can't see it. All right, turn back around. At least some people saw that, right? So that it's not going to be too easy to, I mean, if you lie, then. Lisa, I have some jokers here. And Kirsty, you have the joke ready to go? It's a clean one?
Yes.
I mean, I don't mind, but. We have some jokers here. So, Kirsty, please now tell the joke.
I feel bad saying that it's a dumb joke because it's my 6-year-old nephew's
I
joke.
love dumb jokes.
Yeah. What do you call two horses standing next to each other?
What do you call two horses standing next to each other?
Neighbors.
Ah, it works! Now the fumes of comedy waft over to activate the jokers, which are activated by comedy. And so just you picked a card, you put the jokers, just to recap, clowns to the left of me, jokers to the right. Here I am. Stuck in the middle with you. I do that trick for kids and they don't. Anyway, a joke. A card appears between the jokers. What was the card you chose?
The 6 of diamonds.
Take it out and let's check. Show everyone. We did it! Thank you very much, Kirsty and Lisa.
The answer is yes.
Oh, I'm
So yeah, I can.
All right, we have time for one more quick one. If anyone has one.
Wait, the back there.
Oh, Adam. Really get my steps in here. My watch keeps yelling at me to move while I was talking.
Okay, so this is like being a creative, and you're standing. Oh, I have to stand. This is being a creative with ADHD. The biggest thing that I'm struggling with as a creative, and to see is like failure, and your whole talk about it was amazing, by the way. It was really amazing. How do you deal with organizing yourself with ADHD as a creative? Because my mind is all over the place with it.
Yeah. The answer is barely, if at all. It's everywhere. Everything is everywhere. Inside of my head, inside of my apartment, on my desk, on my computer. The organization is me desperately trying to remember where things are. I ultimately have developed a really strong memory, and I also rely extensively on note-taking apps on my phone to capture things immediately, and just have developed a habit of checking what it was. And there's a lot of stuff I've written down that I have no idea what it means. I'm just like, yes, I'll know what this means later, or 2 days later, no idea. But it's better than nothing, and I'm trying to figure out better organizational systems. I recently just started using an app called TickTick, which lets you capture tasks and then has a number of ways of adding deadlines and using an Eisenhower matrix to categorize them based on urgency and importance. I've been using it for only about a week and a half. It seems to be working, but I expect that in about a month or two, I will lose interest, the novelty will wear off, and then I will seek dopamine elsewhere. So, but that's where I'm at now. All right, thanks.
All right, big round of applause for Rob.